Yo! Hey everybody, Gabriel Kevin here again, and welcome to Pick Your Poison, which is under my website under the menu item, Open Your Eyes and the Teachings of Gabriel. So, and that's me, I'm Gabriel Kevin. Anyway, today is part 2 of False Friends, so we'll take the glasses off so we can begin. And you may ask me, well, why do you put the glasses on and then take them off? Because I think it's cool. Anyway, it's a little breezy out here. It was raining. It started to rain in the end of the first episode of False Friends. So if you saw that one, well, that's part 1. You'll see, hey, he had to stop. It was raining. Anyway, getting back to False Friends. Again, to me, one of the most dangerous types of relationships there is. Because they're not out for your well-being. In fact, they are on the other side of the spectrum. They're out to hurt you in some way, embarrass you, take money from you, fool you, because they make you play the fool. That's one of the biggest parts of a false friend. They love it. It fills their ego because they have such low self-esteem. It fills their ego to know they're making you the fool, and you don't know they're doing it. Now, so how do we find out? Well, it's not easy, because they are very good at being friends, very good, and you start to cherish them, and you start to make excuses for them. There's the first indication. You're making excuses. Those little comments that kind of hurt you or just don't feel right, and then you shrug it off. You're like, oh, nah, they had a bad day. Okay, people do have bad days. People will sometimes make those comments, but when it becomes consistent, and it's not like after same day, next day. No, they spread it out, and they zing you, and then talk behind your back, obviously. And the other thing that they do is they instigate. The real good ones will instigate. So what they'll do is they'll zing you, and then they'll be your friend, and then when they're your friends, they are the best of friends. You can't believe there's anything against you, and that's the whole danger of it, is that you can't see it unless you start seeing the little indications. So when the digs, and when those comments, and when those actions, how small they are, just seem to keep repeating themselves. And in between those things that repeat themselves, that hurt you or feel bad, they're the greatest friends in the world. First indication. Second indication is when you're around other people and they start kind of increasing it a little more, because you're getting a feel of how other people are watching you in distress. And it could be a little bit of the distress, but that's the key. If they do too much, you'll know. So, let me give you an example of somebody who, as of today, is a false friend to me. And there's other ones, and varying degrees, but this person, okay, is still a false friend. Then why don't I do anything about it? Because I don't want to. I know. I've learned over the years, the little indications, the little comments, the calling you a name or something, things that just don't make sense. And then they're the really nicest person too, asking how everything's going. Oh, that's great. Well, this person I see occasionally during the year. And if you're listening, I don't care. And they came to me and they befriended me. I'm not going to give too much details. And it was a time when I was kind of a little bit down and out, kind of lonely, kind of thing. And I'm still not going to give too much detail, but anyway, I felt great about it. It's like, this is cool. You're accepting me, everybody else was cool. And years ago, still goes on now. And this person, over the years, being my friend, really good friend, even with text messages and Messenger and stuff like that, it started to bother me when he started to kind of almost mock me, ridicule me, like calling me this certain type of person, again, I'm not going to give too much away, certain type of person, and I'm like, I'm not really that kind of person, but in front of other people. And then he'd become really nice. And then he'd do it again, maybe weeks later. And then one time, sitting somewhere, he turned around and called me an asshole. Or something like this. See those people there? They believe you're an asshole. And then it struck me like, really? And then he turned around and goes, because you are an asshole. Now, I don't think any friend in the world calls another friend an asshole. Even jokingly. I wouldn't. Would you? It's kind of harsh. I let it go. And millions of other things. Then, over time, and there's so many other things in text messages and trying to embarrass me in front of a group. But the instigation part was the part that I learned kind of later. That he would actually instigate others to get on my case. And I didn't know he was doing it. And then he would like console me. Is that the biggest BS you ever heard? So why did I call him out on it? Because I don't want to. Because he's a true false friend. I mean, he does like great stuff for things and people and stuff like that. But if somebody could be a nice person and do good things, but they have something against you, they should not become a false friend just to fill their own ego and fill their own lack of self-importance. And they think they're outsmarting you, and a lot of times they are until you find out. So I did find out. I mean, I just found out just by realizing after a while, and then finding out behind the scenes that this person was instigating others. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It took me, here's the problem, guys, girls, everybody, dogs, cats, living together, mass hysteria, what movie? Anyway, here's the problem, is that you can't see it. And you won't believe it. And that lies the problem. And what do you do about it? You know, you tell them off. Well, I'm kind of forced to be in this person's presence because of my own choice. But it's horrible. It's really horrible. And it's just the way it is. People are false friends. So my advice to everybody is, if you have your own examples, look at all your friends. Think about, you can do an evaluation. It's like almost meditation. Just contemplate. You know, it's a good thing to do. Because people can be very bad. And think about, do I feel bad, occasionally about things they do? It's the consistency. Write that down. It's the consistency of what they do that gives it up. An occasional one-off, little joke here, little joke there, that's fine. Friends joke around. Anyway, false friends, very dangerous. Evaluate your friends. And have a rule. If somebody, even a best friend, digs you or something like that, and it bothers you, tell them. Go right to their face and say, look, I had enough of this. Stop now, or you're never going to see me again. Now, why hasn't I done that? Because it's a situation where if I do that, there can be retaliation that I don't want. So you have to balance that too. If there's going to be retaliation, then think about it. How do you protect yourself from this? Anyway, belaying the point, false friends, not a good thing. If you have experiences with false friends, put them in the comments if you're willing to. Or what do you think about this? Because to me, it's one of the most evil things somebody can do to another person. Pretend they're your friend and they're out to get you. They're pretending to be your friend and they're out to get you. It's sad. It's sad for them because they're the ones with the low self-esteem. Anyway, put your comments in. Of course the glasses have to go back on because the stuff might hit the fan and go poof. Yeah. Anyway, to all my good friends out there and all you folks, have a great, wonderful day. See you on the next Pick Your Poison, whatever one you pick. Later.